Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Please remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. That's how the video gets through the YouTube algorithm. Share the video if you care. I hope you all care, so share. And yes, please sound off in the comment section below. Look here, if you thought the women's 100 meters gave, oh my gosh, the men's 100 meters left some men reaching for lifelines. Trackies, I'm telling you, it is about to go down in that men's 100-meter semifinal. Who will make it? Well, guess what? Only time will tell. Well, I'm going to tell you. That being said, before we dive into the actual semifinals, let's dive into the heats. Let's talk about what went down to lead us to the spectacular semifinals that are to come. Now, in the first heat, we had Oblique Seville in this heat. Now, going in, absolute favorite for this heat. Should have been a race that he easily won. However, track is, he was surprised. Taking the win from South Africa was a gift. He ran a new personal best, 9.87 seconds, with Kenya Sal from Nigeria taking second, running 9.88 seconds. Now, track is in third place was Oblique Seville, running 9.93 seconds. Quite the absolute shocker. Oblique Seville seems as though he had special thoughts when it came to this men's 100 meters. He thought, well, this is an easy peasy field. No surprises here. I'll probably just walk out of the blocks and take a win. Not so. Those men came ready to run and ready to cement themselves a spot in the semifinal. And Oblique Seville, caught off guard, had to run back and get himself into third place, which he did smoothly, in my opinion, to qualify. In my opinion, when it comes to navigating rounds at a championship level, it's always best to run your or at least execute your first phase. That's the dry phase. Come out to the dry phase, then kind of look around, see where everybody is, and decide to shut it down if you feel as though you're comfortable enough, right? To really give that Oblique Seville gave, in the first part of his race is really running a risk. A track is a risk, luckily, that he could afford to make. I definitely think, though, he won't make that mistake again, and he will definitely be ready, for the finals or at least the semifinals, because we haven't gotten to the finals yet. He'll be ready for the finals and to navigate making it to the next round. But he was living dangerously on the absolute edge. Now, jumping into heat two, track is where we had Kishane Thompson line up there. He came in as the favorite in this heat and he took it handily, executed his drive phase, came out of his drive phase, that is, high need down the track is very easily, and he was like, okay, to top things off, let me just throw my form away and just run through the line like this. Track is, it was absolutely something to see. Kishane Thompson is absolutely ready to show the world why he's gold medal favorite in this men's 100 meters. Behind him was a GB from Canada, and he ran 10.19 seconds, with Longa from Colombia running in third, 10.21 seconds. Now, track is in the third heat. We had Ackeem Blake versus Noah Lyles. No surprise here. Noah Lyles goes away with the win, 9.95 seconds. Ackeem Blake second, 10.07 seconds. And Terrence Jones from Bahamas, 10.16 seconds. I thought Noah Lyles put a little effort in it. Didn't get the best start. He doesn't typically get the best start, but he has really good acceleration. And he's one person that you have to appreciate, that when it comes to technically executing, he's always working on his craft. He's always trying to get better for the next race. So it means that each round he's actually executing how he wants to execute in the finals. And you have to appreciate that when it comes to the likes of Noah Lyles. That being said, him not go close. Him not go close, in my opinion. Now, track is, I thought Ackeem Blake did what was required to navigate to the next round, and can't wait to see what he will be able to deliver in the semifinals. Now, moving on over to Heat 3, I thought Kenny Beneri looked really, really easy. If I was supposed to compare what happened with Noah Lyles versus Kenny Beneri got out of his drive phase and shut it down for the win. 10.01 seconds. Noah Lyles, as I said, pretty much gave you a full execution of how he's expected to navigate each round, which actually works in his benefit, when it comes to him round by round. That being said, I thought Kenny looked good and he executed well, won the race. Jerome Blake also looked good from Canada. He won 10.05 seconds with Jeremiah Azul third, 10.11 seconds. Jumping on over into Heat 5, Let's See Little Boho surprised me. Didn't have him winning this race. Came in, took the win. Track is 10.07 seconds. Not the best start, but his pickup is really, really good. Strong towards the end of the race. And Andre DeGrasse, again, another athlete that I didn't have placing in this racetrack as well. I did have Tebogo placing, just didn't have him winning. But Andre DeGrasse didn't have him placing, took second, 10.16 seconds. And surprisingly, the informed man, Courtney Lindsay, 10.19 seconds. I told you all that Star Athletics, something is up. Could it be that they sensed something and they're kind of hiding? Interesting. Anyway, track is Courtney Lindsay third. I definitely thought this for him, he underperformed. Let's see if he's able to get things together for the finals. Now, moving over into Heat 6, we had another surprise here. I definitely thought that the likes of T. Mars McCullum would be challenging Zarnell Hughes for first. T. Mars McCullum didn't even make it in. No, I definitely thought it was because of inexperience. He seemingly picked, at the beginning of the race, but it was hard to really tell if it was a false start. So they gave him a green card, and I was okay with that because it was really, really hard to tell, right? So he got another opportunity, but you could tell he was a nervous wreck and unfortunately ran himself out of the race, unfortunately not qualifying. But taking the race was Israel Akon from Niger. Is it Niger or Nigeria? Whichever one. 10.04 seconds, and Zarnell Hughes was second, 10.06, with Lamont Marcel Jacobs in third, 10.20 seconds. I have to tell you, I didn't have Marcel making it, but he did. Now in Heat 7, that is, we had Akani Simbine take the win there. No surprise there. He ran at 10.02 seconds. Abdul Rashid Saminu was second, 10.09, with Ferdinand Omeniela third, 10.12 seconds. So track is on to the semifinal we go, because guess what? Given how Oblique Civil ran in his semifinal and how they do the seedings in his heat, that is, and how they do the seedings, unfortunately, it means that we're gonna get a stacked semifinal. And guess what? We're going to see some athletes, really good athletes in my opinion, get left out. I haven't looked at these heat sheets yet. Gonna take a look at them for the first time. So let's see how their structured track is and which athletes potentially make it in and who will not make it through. Now, let's jump into these men's semifinals. They take two and the next two fastest times. So what we're really looking for is first and second. In the first semifinal, though, track is we are up against it. We're talking about Noah Lyles versus Ackeem versus Akani Simbine versus Ajibi from Canada versus Kenya Sol from Nigeria. Track is it Niger? I think it's Niger. No. With that being said, track is this one is gonna come down to who executes the best race. Now, when I look at how Noah Lyles executed, I'm definitely giving him the win here for this semifinals. But Akane Simbine and Ackeem Blake look pretty much dead heat when it comes to how they've been executing, over the weeks that we've been watching them, on the circuit. And particularly thinking about how they executed in the actual heats, Akeem Blake looked slightly better. Looked like he had a bit more room to give. I believe that Akane Simbine didn't have the best start, but he ran back, to win that race. Will it be another execution like that from Akane Simbine? And will Akeem Blake be able to hold him off? Akeem Blake has proved so far this season that he's able to get it done, but he needs to ensure that he hits the start. So in my opinion, as long as Akeem Blake hits that start, he makes it to the finals and he will be able to represent for Team Jamaica in the finals and, of course, himself and go for one of those pole positions. Now, Akane Simbine, I think, will be third. And also we will have a challenge between, Kenya Sol and also Ajibe for one of those, other positions. But track is only top two really matter, yeah. So because if you don't win or place second, you're sitting in the bubble, and that's not some place you want to be in a men's 100 meters. Now, jumping on over into Heat 2, things get even more spicy, trackies. We have Kenny Benerick, the fastest American, versus the fastest Jamaican, Kishane Thompson. I'm absolutely here for it. Let's see who is really the big man in town. Now, in the lineup, we have Longo from Colombia, we have Ferdinand Omanyala from Kenya, we have Kenny Benerick from USA, we have Kishane Thompson from Jamaica, Zarnell Hughes from Great Britain, and Jerome Blake from Canada. Track is based on how I see things going. Yeah, man, a Kishane race. Kishane looked the bigger man for me when once he was executing in the heats. And of course, we've watched him this season, being pretty much undefeated other than that first 100 meters where he lost to an Akane. Really the big man in 2025, and I expect him to come here and stamp his authority. I pretty much expect him to run his dry face and shut it down and cruise to the line, bounce to the line like he did, and that will be enough to have him ahead of anything that Kenny Benerick will be able to do. Kenny Benerick, though, I think will be competent enough to run strong as well and be second in this race. Third place will be interesting. Will it be Zarnell Hughes or will it be Jerome Blake? I have to say, Zarnell Hughes hasn't been given. He hasn't been given what he should be given, so he could potentially be pipped by Jerome Blake. Let's see how that particular third spot goes in the second heat. Now in the third and final semi-final, we have Romel Glaive from Great Britain. We have Andre DeGrasse from Canada. We have Gift from South Africa. We have Letsile Boho from Botswana. We have Rashid Abdul Samino from Ghana. We have Israel Okon from Niger. We have Oblique Seville from Jamaica. And of course, we have Courtney Lindsay from the United States of America. This one is quite interesting, I have to say. But it's actually quite easy. Oblique Seville takes this win hands down. He won't mess around like he did in the heat. He's taking this win, no questions asked. Things now become interesting between Gift from South Africa and let's see later Boho from Botswana. If I should choose, given the form, given the fact that GIF executed a strong race from start to finish, I'm going to say GIF goes all out again and he takes the win over Let's See Little Boho, which means that Let's See Little Boho is on the bubble. And will the time be fast enough? That is the big question. Now, Chakis, you heard what I had to say. You watch those races yourself. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Oh, you think the Itago go? And who do you think is going to make it to the finals? Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.